Ramana Maharshi's amazing guidance. What is happiness? How to get it? A drill down is a technique to take a complex subject matter or topic or problem and investigate deeper into it progressively until we fully understand it. Here I am presenting a drill down for a quote by Ramana Maharshi about what is happiness, how to get it. A devotee asked about the nature of happiness. Ramana Maharshi said, "If a man thinks that his happiness is due to external causes and his possessions, it is reasonable to conclude that his happiness must increase with the increase of possessions and diminish in proportion to their diminution. Therefore, if he is devoid of possessions, his happiness should be nil." What is the real experience of man? Does it conform to this view? In deep sleep, the man is devoid of possessions, including his own body. Instead of being unhappy, he is quite happy. Everyone desires to sleep soundly. The conclusion is that happiness is inherent in man and is not due to external causes. One must realize his self in order to open the store of unalloyed happiness. Here is the drill down of the quote, based on Ramana Maharshi's teachings. In deep sleep, a person is unaware of any unhappiness. When waking up from a good night's sleep, everyone says, "I slept well." There is a happy, refreshing feeling after deep sleep. Also, everyone is eager to sleep well without any disturbance. This also means that there is happiness and tranquility in sleep. Otherwise, why should a person long for it? For spiritual progress, enjoyment of objects is not necessarily restricted, but the attachments and aversions to them create bondage. People usually think that possessions make them happy. They run after them and accumulate them. But time after time, life teaches us that material things keep changing. What is desirable one day is disappointing another day. The same thing that seems to give pleasure at one time turns out to be a dud and produces misery at another time. Or, due to the very restless nature of the mind, we lose interest in one object and look for another, hoping to get perfect happiness from it. If we get true happiness from an object, then the search would end then and there. But, obviously, we don't get real happiness from that object, because otherwise we won't be running after another. However, in deep sleep, we are devoid of any possessions, including the body. There must be happiness there because everyone desires to sleep soundly. If someone disturbs a person who is sleeping, that person gets very angry. So the conclusion is that happiness is inherent in a person. Happiness is not due to external causes. We may do many things during the day. We may think and plan furiously, and we may rush madly to make things happen. But at the end of the day, we are restless. There is that sense of inadequacy, a lack of peace and quiet, a sense of unhappiness, a longing for perfect happiness. Why? Because happiness is not outside in the world, nor in the objects, in the thoughts, or emotions. Happiness is within us. It is inherent in us. In fact, it is our real nature. But we do not feel this inherent happiness in the waking state. Why is that? That is because we have become a victim of our own creation, the ego. When we were sleeping, we were happy. When we wake up, we are restless or unhappy. That is because when we wake up, the ego rises and instantly creates multitudes of thoughts, which is usually termed as mind. The mind starts to wander here and there non-stop, without even a split second of peace and quiet. According to our mental predispositions, called vasanas, it projects the world and wanders about restlessly. Then, how to get back to our inherent happiness? By realizing the real self, which is of the nature of reality, consciousness, bliss. Sat, Chit, Ananda. But how do we realize it? We have to locate the troublemaker, the ego, who is hiding our happiness. The ego is not the real I, but it is the I thought, which falsely parades as the real I. When we constantly, earnestly, persistently search for the source of this I thought within in our mind, the ego, which is a ghost or phantom, vanishes because it is not real. And then the inherent, real, happy self reveals itself. Such is the power of self-enquiry, through which we discover our real self. Therefore, the conclusion is that one must realize one's self in order to open the store of unalloyed happiness within.